When we decided to switch to Mint Mobile, one of our big fears was what was going to happen when we traveled abroad. How are we going to get international data? Well, I did a lot of research and I'm super excited to break down everything about eSIMs and how you can easily get access to them to get all sorts of good data, awesome data, no matter where you're traveling in the world on the cheap. So today I'm going to break down what an eSIM is, why you might want to use it, and even how to set it up with the service that we use when we traveled abroad recently. And finally, I'll also give you a link that will also give you some free credits if you want to try it yourself. So tune in. Hey everyone, I'm James, and if you've been on this channel at all, or maybe seen a previous video about our big transition to Mint Mobile a few years ago during the pandemic, you may have realized one thing that I was concerned about then, and am no longer concerned about, which is traveling international. Now, we decided to switch to Mint Mobile from originally I was on Google Fi and Verizon, then to T-Mobile, and then now onto Mint Mobile a few years ago, because we're in the middle of the pandemic. We were working from home. We didn't have any plans to travel a lot, or definitely not travel abroad. And then this year, 2022, as we're almost entering 2023 and I put out this video, we had an opportunity towards the end of the year to travel international, not only just north up to Canada to go see an awesome concert from Stromae, but also internationally to Europe over to Slovenia, which was really fantastic. Now, one of our big concerns was that previously on T-Mobile and Verizon and Google Fi, I had international data. It was just included in the plan. But we were spending $120 a month for 2 lines. And now with Mint Mobile, we're only spending $30 a month, but we only have a 4 gig data cap. Now, there are different restrictions, like who you can call and the data where it works, which is basically America. There's some calling international and things like that on Mint Mobile. But if you're on an MVNO like we are, and you're paying not as much money, which is great, then you may have to consider what happens when you travel international. And that's what happened to us. So I did a lot of research, and what I found was that there are eSIMs. And basically think of it like this: is you either have a physical SIM, or now even on the new iPhones, they're only eSIMs. But if your phone is capable of an eSIM, such as here I have an iPhone SE2 and I have an older Pixel, I think 3 or something like that, and basically see if your phone supports eSIMs. Sometimes your phone will support a physical SIM and an eSIM. And think of an eSIM as a electronic SIM card. Instead of a physical SIM card that tells your provider who you have access to, you can have a digital eSIM card that can load, and you can swap those out, and you can have as many as you want on your phone because you can enable and disable different eSIMs. So if you're on a new iPhone already, 14, you can actually disable your current eSIM and then get a new eSIM, and then you're totally good to go, which is great. Now, the beautiful part about eSIMs is that they can work internationally. You don't have to go talk to anyone. You can download some apps on your phone, purchase a plan just like you would, and activate your eSIM when you're international. And that's what we did. We actually use a service called Airalo. So if I pull it up over here, it's Airalo, which enables you to basically get data in any of these different countries on the cheap, which is really, really cool. So you load up your eSIM, you activate it, and you can pick from a single country, a group, like continent, like Europe, or you can pick for entire worldwide plans. And the great part here is you get to pick how much data you want: 1 gig, 2 gigs, 5 gigs, unlimited data for a certain amount of days. And we did this and it was absolutely amazing. So before we get into like my roundabout of like how it was, let me show you how to set it up onto your device. And I'm specifically going to be using my Pixel device here. I decided to, instead of putting on my main device, I have a bunch of test device around. So I just put it on my Android phone, but it works on iOS or Android. So let's get into it. Okay, so here I'm inside of my Pixel 4 on my settings screen. You can tap on network and internet. You can see, of course, all the different places you're connected, but also SIMs. And this is cool. These are my 2 downloaded SIMs, but you can also add new SIMs as well, both physical SIMs and eSIMs. So we're going to come back to the screen a little bit later. Now, I use an app called Airalo, which is an eSIM pocket application. And now there's a bunch of these out there, but this is one I use. And it supports all bunch of different countries and regions across the globe. So anywhere you're looking to travel, like here we're looking to travel upcoming here to Canada, you can tap on it and see the provider and also the data plan. So here I have the option of a gig for 7 days for $7.50, 3 days or 30 days and 3 gigs for $17.50, or all the way to 10 gigs for 30 days for $36. One of my favorite features, if you are going to somewhere like Europe, for example, there's regional SIMs. Regional SIMs are a group of different countries for a region. So this Eurolink supports 39 different countries. So here I can tap on the supported countries and see if it's supported. So if you're going to Slovenia like I did, or you're going to another country like Sweden or Switzerland or Turkey, or you're going between them, you can go ahead and see if it's supported. Now, it is a little bit more expensive for the data when you are grouping these countries because it provides support for many, many different cell providers that are out there. Now, if you are doing tons of crazy international travel, you might want to look at the global eSIM, which again is even a little bit more expensive. So 1 gig for $9, not bad. But it's going to support 86 different countries. And you can go all the way up to 10 gigs on this as well. It's going to cost you a little bit more money. Now, here we can see that I have no active eSIMs at all because I haven't purchased any, but I have my previous ones in here. Now, I could go reactivate them if I wanted to, but my data is expired, so it doesn't really matter. We can see here when I tap in on it, this is when I went to Europe, and we can see that it's or when it expires, I should say. This one hasn't expired yet at time of recording, but I could actually top it up overall with new things. And then once you install an eSIM, it can't be installed on another device from what they've told me here, at least from my understanding. Your miles may vary, but that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and actually start to maybe buy an eSIM here. This is Torque Mobile over in Canada. And we can decide what type of data plan we want to buy. So I'm going to buy 1 gig, maybe. Yeah, let's just buy a gig of data. I'm only going to be there for a day or two. And we can see that this works on the Rogers network. So that's the 4G data plan. These are data plans only, so no cell phone speed. So Torque Mobile is the provider, which is on the Rogers network. And that's how this is going to work. So I always recommend going in and screenshotting this because it's nice to have that on the go when you are actually looking to set up the SIM and get it connected to a network. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay over here. I'm going to pay through Google Pay is how I have it set up. Here, you also have the ability to apply coupon codes. So I actually have a coupon code where you can get $3 credit. And I have a bunch of credit here from some friends that I've shared this with. So I'm just going to go ahead and provide that automatically. So I guess I get this one for free. That's kind of nice. Save $7.50. But I do like that there's different validities and different data tiers. So it's kind of up to you, but you can always top it up. So if you think you're only going to need a gig, maybe start with a gig, or maybe 3 gigs or 5 gigs, and based on how long you need them. I will say I'm recording this after actually going to Canada. I'm the voiceover, and we did not use 1 gig. We used 300 or 400 megabytes, but it's kind of it. Anyways, I have a SIM. Look at this. Boom. 1 SIM. So I can see where it's covered. I can see that I have 1 gig left. It's not installed yet, so I see a big install button here, and I can still get back to this information previously or buy top-ups as well. So when I tap on install, it gives me a QR code or a manual setup. Now, sometimes there's a 1-click button that enables you to install it immediately, but I do think it's by provider. So here we have our QR code that is going to enable us to share that out. There's also a manual way of doing it as well. So that's a little bit there. So let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to click on my SIM, say add more, and then there's that download a SIM instead, which is add a number using an eSIM. So here we're going to download our SIM and hit next. And this is going to check our network info. So we do want to be connected to the internet, maybe in our hotel room, maybe at home. And then it's going to enable us to basically scan a QR code. So this gets a little bit tricky when I'm just doing it on my phone. So normally what they have is a share QR code where you could email it to yourself, but I'm just going to use the snipping tool and bringing it up here. So when I go over here, I can just go ahead and scan that QR code, boom, just like that. And now it's going to say, do I want to use Airalo for my SIM card, eSIM card, I should say. And it's going to download the information that is needed automatically to my Pixel 4 device. And we'll have everything set up at that point. Now, again, it's not going to be activated yet. It's just going to be installed. So this is going to register and have all the stuff. But the first time it connects to a specific network, it will then activate it. So here we can see I have 3 different SIMs, and then all I have to do is tap on one and say use eSIM. Now again, this isn't activated, but it's going to switch it on, which will be the active eSIM. Now I'm in America, so I can't connect to this network at all, so it doesn't really matter, but there's a bunch of different options here that are important. So mobile data, which you want to have on, roaming, which I guess you're going to be in that country, is going to be there. You can even set like data limits and warnings, so that's actually really nice. So here we could set it to 1 gig, for example, or you could set it to half a gig, and you could set data limits as well. So there's a lot of different options inside of here. The preferred network type is nice. Some things support 5G, some support 4G, but there's also the ability to choose a network. Now we're not going to see any networks. Well, I guess we're going to see the networks here in the US, but you can tap on one of those and try to automatically connect to it as well. So you kind of have the options there of going back and forth when you are using this device. So that's the one area here, and this is where you'll see the network type that'll be on there. So when you're in Canada, or when I'm in Canada, I want to look for Rogers. So when I turn off the automatic selection and I go and search for a provider, that's what I want to do. And you can see here it's using the default for mobile data, calls, SMS automatically across the wire. So that's it. That's a quick walkthrough of the Airalo application. If you're interested in signing up, I do have a link down below, or you can get $3 credit, and I get $3 credit as well. And of course, you can archive and do all this stuff later on. And there's all of your eSIMs. Pretty awesome. All right, well, there you have it. It's just really that easy to get set up and start using eSIMs. Now, a few considerations here is as we're traveling both to Canada and then over to Europe, one fascinating part is that sometimes the eSIM would just automatically connect to the network that it was on. Sometimes I'd have to go in and try different networks until I found the right one. But the nice part about the Airalo, whatever it is, application is that it'll tell you all the providers for whatever country you're going. So I like to just screenshot that ahead of time. I also set up everything ahead of time, like I showed you. I actually activate it ahead of time into the eSIM, but the plan won't start until it actually connects to its first network. So you could do it all offline ahead of time, get it set up, and then once it connects to one of those networks, the eSIM will come alive. And before that, it's just loaded onto your device. So it's super duper simple. And if you're on the go and you need more data, you just get more data. Click a button and you're totally good to go. Now, we traveled and used the Airalo SIM cards 3 different times in multiple countries and never had an issue once. Even when going in and out of airports, it just works seamless. We actually never use all of our data. Every time we bought a 3 gig plan, we'd only use less than a gig. And every time we bought a 5 gig plan, we only use like 1.5 gigs. So it's sort of like feeling it out, but at the price point that it is spectacular. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is a link that you can sign up for in the show notes below. When you go ahead and use that code, you get $3 credit. I also get $3 credit too for watching this video. So in all transparency, that's what happens there, which is super nice. And if you like it or you have some other service that you use, leave it down in the notes below. Or if you've used it after watching this video, come back and let us know. I'd love to hear about it. Like I said, I found it super spectacular because combined with like using offline Google Maps, where I had all that data that I didn't need on demand, I was able to navigate around. We had a great time. And while I did often carry 2 phones around with me, I thought it was okay just because it was just really nice to have a dedicated phone where I was like, I know I'm not going to accidentally turn on my cellular data or something like that over here. Anyways, let me know in the show notes below. If you like this type of content, I have other Mint Mobile videos, other tech reviews. Of course, if you want to get into programming, or you're already a developer, this is a great place to start on this channel. So make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up over there, and a subscribe if you really want to get in tune with more videos over here on the channel. Hope you have a great holiday if you're watching this before the new year. Else, welcome to 2023 or 2024, or whenever year it is that you're watching this, and I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day.